Hey everybody, this is Nova Poli with the Ladies of the Chains podcast.
This is Kim Janola, also with Ladies of the Chains.
And we're here at round 3, the final round of the MVP Open at Maple Hill. We've got FPO lead card coverage. First up, 6 under par is Sarah Hokom.
Crush across the lake.
Second on the tee box is Paige Bjerkaas. She's trailing Sarah by 3 strokes coming into this round.
You see Paige waving the disc, willing it to fade there at the end. Really good position.
Right in the center. Third up is Rebecca Cox, who is sitting at 1 over par for the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think that quite got the turn Rebecca wanted. It's going to finish just a little bit towards the trees. She'll still have a good shot there.
And rounding out our lead card is Lisa Fajkus, sitting at 2 over for the event so far.
Yeah, and that looked like an early release. I don't think Lisa intended to be over there.
She's found the young Christmas trees. Looks like that's out in the open.
Oh.
I'd like to give a shout out to MVP Disc Sports for bringing us coverage of the MVP Open, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you, MVP Disc Sports.
Now, you might be wondering why it's Kim and myself on doing commentary. Holly Finley and Paige Bjerkaas, who's throwing a great upshot right here, did do the live coverage earlier this weekend, but there were some technical issues with the audio, so we're doing a post-produced version.
A little bit of a low release there. It was the right idea, just didn't quite have the height.
In case anybody is wondering, those 2 trees and a banner are not a triple Mando. Rebecca Cox lays that up, taking advantage of the barriers to avoid going OB long.
Good run.
Paige Bjerkaas gives that a go for the birdie, but not quite.
You want to know how many birdies were on this for the entire weekend for the women?
I want to know.
1. Paige Pierce in round 1. Otherwise, it was either pars or bogeys.
Oh, 720 feet with a water carry and OB behind the basket. It's not hard to see why.
Yeah, and the Christmas trees if you finish left off the tee.
That is true. Okay, wrapping up hole 1. Lisa Fajkus taps in her sole bogey. Everybody else got par. And coming into hole 2, Sarah's still holding a 3-stroke lead over Paige Bjerkaas. Most pros consider this to be a must-birdie hole. Sarah challenges the OB, but gets it up right in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, that was If you were watching any of the coverage this weekend, a lot of players, both on the men and women's side, hit the trees on the left, kind of as a safe shot. If you're challenging the gap and actually trying to hit the basket from there, or hit the green from there, it's daring considering the OB on the right. But both Paige and Sarah did it well.
That's true. Rebecca goes with a flippier mid and drives a line straight up the middle. That'll be just outside circle 1. Lisa Fajkus plays the safe line over to the left. She'll have a long look.
Oh, good run, Sarah.
Just a little low. This is for
Another good run.
birdie, but not quite. Rebecca Cox outside circle 1, but inside circle 2.
Bullseye.
Smashes the chains. And Paige Bjerkaas from about the same range. That disc got a little sneaky there at the end, but it stayed in the cage.
Those are 2 really good putts. And the 2 runs before were also really good. These women smashed this hole.
Definitely. For a Must birdie hole. It's a bit odd seeing 2 pars.
But they were good pars. I mean, as much as you could have a good par on that hole, they gave him healthy runs at a 2.
I get what you mean. It's not like there were any real mistakes made. This is hole 3. It's got a complicated S-shaped line. It's very difficult to birdie.
You have to go right almost immediately off the tee. And uphill on top of that. This is a very challenging shot.
The crowd really appreciates Sarah Hokom's forehand there. Looks like it flexed out in a terrific position. Lisa Fajkus takes a little time to inspect the line. No harm in that at all.
No, it's a challenging hole. When you hit any tree off the tee, you can be in jail really quick.
There's Rebecca's upshot. Quite pleased with where that's come down. Paige Bjerkaas. Nearly, it's hard to tell from the depth of field. I couldn't tell if that nearly skipped in or if that pulled up short on that stump.
Yeah, and there you go. A lot of trees between Lisa and the basket.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. She's got a reputation for being better through the trees than that. Sarah floats that up there for the tap in.
Oh, that was a good run. She's always dangerous.
Here's Rebecca Cox for her par from just at the edge of circle 1. Oh, sit down, disc. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, it's rolled over behind those trees on the right.
That's Maple Hill.
Just inside circle 1 again. A little bit obstructed with this wide straddle putt. And just does not quite stick.
Yeah, the awkward footing there. You could see the disc kind of lean to the left as she released.
That's not a knock on her, though. That was a tough putt.
Yeah, it was a tough putt.
Paige Bjerkaas taps in her bogey.
So,
Excuse me, that was a par.
just like hole 1, there were not many birdies on this hole for the entire weekend for the women. In fact, there were only 2 that both came this round, and that was Holly Finley and Katrina Allen.
Well done for them. After 3, Sarah and Paige are staying the same distance apart. Hole 4, 250 feet. Just scoot a putter down to the edge and don't go long. And if you do go long, hope for a grip 6 barrier to stop you.
Yeah, this is one of the more memorable holes anyone thinks of with Maple Hill that's not, one of the 2 water carries. I mean, it's just right there. You're looking dead at the basket, but there's so much danger on the way down to it.
Definitely. Looks like we'll have 4 different upshots looking at the basket.
Yeah. Really just lay up here and get your par.
Sarah Hokom's got, what is she lining up there? A pancake.
Good choice. Nice
Oh,
shot.
and that skids right under the basket. And this gentleman approves. There's Paige Bjerkaas from just inside the circle.
Oh, heartbreaker.
Just to the left side. Drops to the floor. Lisa Fajkus. Oh, just kisses off the tree. It's going to be a bit of a tester comeback for the bogey. Terrific putt for par there.
Yeah, this is a hole where that water can get in your head. Especially if you have to, when you're putting downhill, excuse me. It's usually better just to do an easy layup and take the 3.
I get what you mean. And Paige and Sarah tap in their pars. After 4 holes, Sarah's holding on to that 2-stroke lead over Paige Bjerkaas. Hole 5, big forehand or any carry over the water. Waiting for the word from the spotter. Didn't see the spotter, but that smile says it hit the ground. You know Sarah's going to forehand this.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it flashed above the basket to the right.
Few players took the hyzer line around the trees, just playing strictly for par as opposed to going for the 2. If you're worried that you're not going to get your disc to flex out in time on a backhand turnover, then, yep, taking the hyzer like Lisa is here is the way to go.
Yep, Lisa Fajkus can hit those lines, and she's showing us the hyzer line up the right-hand side. Gives that just a little bit of a flex layup. Gets that to sit down without going across to the water. Rebecca lays that up on the elevated basket. No reason to challenge that water.
That's awesome, Sarah. Good job for going for it.
There's Paige for the birdie. Also a little bit low. Looked a little awkward standing under that tree. I wonder if that was a strange stance or a little bit obstructed. Paige will tap in her par, as will Sarah.
Yeah. Only a handful of birdies on this hole throughout the weekend. Rebecca had one in round 1. Sarah had one in round 2, almost an ace. And then in round 3, Pickle and Pixie got it.
Moving on to hole 6. Paige Bjerkaas throws an overstable driver. There's a backdoor route over on the left-hand side that she's going for. There's OB on the right that is best not challenged. Okay, the delayed call from the spotter says it's safe. Sarah Hokom fires a forehand, and look at that flex over.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Look at that turn. That's slid up well inside circle 1. Rebecca Cox.
It's a good, safe landing zone there, though.
Yep,
May not have had the distance she wanted, but that's an easy 3.
Oh, for sure. Just grinds it up the middle on the ground. Paige's upshot. Oh, catches the last tree.
She had so much between her and the fairway.
Yeah, it looks like she may have overachieved on her drive and gone a little bit past the backdoor route. Here's a bit of a half go. Oh, a full go. Just off the edge of the cage.
Doesn't matter where she is. When Lisa's putting, she's dangerous.
Rebecca gives that a go. That's skipped a little ways beyond the basket.
There you go. One of 2 pars on the entire weekend for the women.
Oh, that was a birdie.
Sorry. Thank you. One of 2 birdies for the women on the weekend.
Oh, speaking of pars, Rebecca does not get her comebacker. There's Paige tapping in her bogey.
Big shout out to Madison Walker for getting the other one.
Outstanding. Sarah Hokom gets the lone birdie on the card. Paige and Rebecca not very stoked to be bringing in bogeys.
Yeah, it's 2-stroke swing. Sarah's starting to pull away.
Hole 7, 275. The basket is actually out of sight to the left. It's not that basket that you see way down there at the end of the tunnel. That's the FPO basket. This plays really uphill despite appearances. The telephoto lens on the camera foreshortens it and makes it look like not such a slope. But it's a bit of a mash to get up there and then to hyzer into where the basket is. Paige Bjerkaas gets that off a little wide.
Yeah.
We hear it hit a tree and then never come back into sight. And this is a really good looking line. That smile says it all. Paige Bjerkaas' upshot just kisses that tree. That's going to be a long look.
Yeah, she had a pretty good look from there, though, for par. I was expecting it to be a little bit more obstructed from where the initial tree hit was.
You are correct.
Good save.
There's Lisa Fajkus to clean up a little par putt. Still haven't seen Rebecca Cox putt.
No.
That must be her disc sitting under the basket.
Yeah, it was a beautiful drive. She's getting one of 3 birdies on the day for the women. Hannah Macbeth and Laura Butler had the other.
I didn't see the other 2 birdies, but I'll wager that was probably the finest looking of them. Hole 8, 250 feet, 240 of it water. Not much to say here.
Everyone dreams of acing this one.
Oh my goodness.
Just flashed it. Really good throw there by Sarah. Oh,
Lisa gets a tree hit, but that has just dropped on shore.
I saw so many discs hit that tree and fall in the water.
Paige Bjerkaas flexes an overstable mid and slides it right up pin high on the right. There's a very long look for birdie. Are you
That's it.
kidding me?
Lisa is dangerous from range.
Rebecca facing the water.
Yeah, that was smart to kneel down, though.
Mm-hmm.
The basket's already shorter than most baskets.
It's true.
Taking the course apart is Sarah Hokom.
Yeah, I feel like that high nose down putt really serves her well on holes like this where there's a threat behind the basket, because it doesn't look like it's going to carry far if it goes long at all.
Yeah, it drops sharply at the end.
Exactly.
Not a whole lot of glide on the last bit of its flight.
If I had a putt like that, I would challenge the water too. I don't. Hole 9, par 4 for the ladies. Most players are just going to drive to get up to the top of this ridge to have a look down to the green, and with any fortune, they'll park their shot and get a birdie.
Yeah, really, you're just playing for a landing zone here. You don't want to bite off too much, just want to stay on the fairway and have a clean shot at the green from here.
Paige Bjerkaas gets a little bit to the right and catches that early tree. She'll be at the top of the hill, but not all the way to the far end of the ridge. And that could be going places.
Looks like it caught a little bit of tree there at the end of its flight.
Oh, that's rough. Fighting out of the woods. Paige Bjerkaas finds herself along the edge of the woods still.
Oh, bye-bye. Oh, my God, you're so lucky. Is that what you mean? Like
Sarah wasn't too pleased with where that forehand was going, but it sounds like it ended well. Here's Lisa looking to park this and get the birdie. A little high. That's going to be off into the trees.
Not bad for her awkward stance, though.
True that.
I mean,
Paige Bjerkaas pitching out, and oh, what a roll. Look at that go. Gets her another 30, 40 feet closer to the basket. Here's Rebecca.
Ooh.
Off the pole. That's a dot. All right. Paige Bjerkaas with a very long look. Maybe for par? Yes,
Yes.
for par.
Fantastic save.
Okay, we're waiting on you. Go run that in.
On an unrelated note, I do tend to be amused a little bit at the fact that we've got a banner from MVP that says the leading edge on the top part of the wall.
Is it at the leading edge of the wall?
Is it at the leading edge of the wall? Exactly.
I see what they did there. Have we mentioned that MVP Disports brought us this coverage? Because MVP Disports brought us this coverage. So big shout out there.
Only one birdie on the day for the women. That's Kona taking down 3.
Okay, at the turn, Sarah Hokom has increased her lead to 4 throws over Paige Bjerkaas on a pair of birdies. Hole 10, the castle hole, 230 feet uphill. If you're throwing a forehand, you do that. If you're throwing a backhand, just throw a big hyzer up there with a driver and spike it in and get your 2. Paige Bjerkaas goes right up against the wall. I think that wall is taller than she is. That could be trouble. Rebecca Cox gets it a little farther out to the right, takes the wall out of the equation. Shouldn't be too tough from there. Let's have a look.
I love the conviction on Rebecca's putts. She never putts soft.
All right, Paige is sizing up this putt. What do you do here? You're just an inch or two taller than Paige. What do you do, Kim?
Probably turbo.
Turbo. I like turbo.
And that rock is crippling her footwork a little bit.
Just off the top. Sarah with the very easy birdie. And that's going to give her one more over Paige.
Did you like feel it? Yeah, I felt it. It was like this, like I thought it was like a huge bug landed on me. Then I look over and it's like
Stretching the lead to 5 strokes.
Moving on to hole number 11, 670 feet. It's the Christmas tree hole. The goal off the tee box is mash a really big drive beyond all of the Christmas trees.
Yeah. You just want to land in the open fairway here as best you can.
Oh, that's a little turned over. Is not hooking up.
Have to see where it landed. It may have hooked up at the very end.
We shall see.
That looks like it's gone.
Yeah. Paige's drive, on the other hand, probably not so much. Pretty good shot out there from Paige. There's Rebecca
Yeah, she's
looking to
in the
match that
Christmas
effort.
trees too.
Oh, heard that hit a tree on the way out. That took some of the stank off the disc.
You could see some of the debris flying off of the flight as well.
Okay, here's Sarah Hokom second. Nice forehand. Oh, it just catches the last tree. Paige's third, coming in on the hyzer line from the right. Skips up right under those treacherous rocks that line the basket.
Hard to see where that one came down. Lost it behind the trees.
Been a while since we've seen Lisa throw. That is just
Beautiful.
off the pole, sitting on the green.
Oh, great run from the Christmas trees.
And it looks like it's sat. Sarah Hokom with the very deeply straddled shot out. Paige Bjerkaas gets her birdie 3. Sarah taps in a par, so there's one back.
Did Paige really 3 that? I thought.
Let me double check my stats. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Wow, fantastic out. I thought she got caught in those first trees and had to pitch.
Well, in your defense, I had a hard time following the flight of that disc as well.
Yeah. And that must have been Rebecca having to throw twice.
Moving on to hole 12, it's 650 feet. The first throw, really just want to stay clean, get out into this fairway that's sitting ahead and just a little to the left. Sarah's not happy with that, but it catches a tree and comes down at the edge of the green. It's not off in the woods. Lisa gets a nice drive sitting out in the sunshine.
Yeah. First shot's all about placement.
Yeah. Rebecca rips an overstable driver on a anti-flex line going over the trees, and that'll be sat in the fairway as well. Yeah, at the end of this fairway, there's an entrance to a tunnel at the left, which is where we're playing to. Here's Rebecca's second going for that spot.
Yeah.
It looks like it's down there.
Clear the gap. Big skip.
Sounds pretty good from the reaction of the gallery. Paige Bjerkaas with the closest look to the gap. Fires it right in there. Sarah is not pleased to have caught that tree.
Oh. Clears all of the trees in front of her. She'll have a look.
It's going to be a little tough from down in that ditch. We'll have to see how it goes.
Ah, that's a good up.
Sarah Hokom for the par. She almost wanted to run that in. Took a step. Long putt for bogey there for Paige Bjerkaas. Let's see how the footing is here for... Oh, goodness.
Ooh.
Oh, clean over the top. That's going to be a long comebacker. And with such conviction, like you were saying earlier, there was nothing halfway about that putt at all.
No, and if she missed that, it's going back over the fallen tree and over the hill. I mean, did not back away from that putt at all.
Absolutely. And Lisa Fajkus taps in her par. It's the quiet ones just tapping in pars that you got to watch for. With just 6 holes to go, Sarah's lead is still 4 throws. That's time running out for Paige.
Yeah. Hole 12, there were no birdies for the tournament from the women on that one. No one threed it.
Well, it's 400 feet, and then you've got to hit a pretty small gap to get down to the basket. Sarah gets a lot of turn on this forehand. It's coming back. It's coming back. Nice run.
It's hard to throw it better than that on a forehand line. That was fantastic.
Rebecca's drive just gets a little bit too much turn and goes into the woods on the right. Here's Paige with a terrific pitch out.
Yep.
That should be an easy 3.
There you go. Good par save.
Definitely. Oh, that's rough, but at least the disc sits down for her.
I'm gonna say we're just now seeing Sarah putt from the.
For a birdie.
Yeah.
405 feet, about a 20-foot putt for a birdie. No big deal.
No big deal. Except she's one of 2 women who birdied it the entire weekend.
Do you have the other?
Yeah. Lauren Butler around 1.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Good job, Lauren. With 5 holes to go, those 2 strokes are just about going to seal the deal. Hole 14, 285. There's some water. There's a basket. You know what to do. I think the biggest question for the tee shot on this hole is not are you going to hit the island, because of course you are, but where do you want to come down for your putt? Do you want to have a putt at the basket away from the water or at the basket towards the water?
Oh, away from the water. That's a really risky shot off the tee. I mean, you have such a small landing zone if you want to be putting up towards it.
Oh, I guess it's a matter of where do you want your difficulty, on the first throw or the second?
I think most players would want it on the second. I mean, margin of error on the first throw would be too great.
Sarah challenges that, but it's just a little low. Rebecca bangs in a very well done birdie. Paige Bjerkaas from about 20 feet?
Yeah, about that.
25? Trying to measure it by eye. It's about 4.5 pages. So that's about, what, 25 feet?
Good birdie.
Good birdie. Rebecca Cox with a little bit of a tester to clean up that par.
It's Lisa.
You're right. My mistake. That's what I get for looking at my notes and not the screen.
It happens.
Moving on. Paige Bjerkaas gets one back, but can she get 5 more in the next 4 holes? Hole 15, 355. I mean, there's the basket. Do you think you can hit that gap? Paige gets a little bit to the left, and that
Yeah.
kicks even further to the left.
Might have been a bit of an early release there.
Sarah's forehand gets us about 2/3 way down the fairway. Might have a look up for up and down. Lisa Fajkus. A lot of turn there, but finds open air. The gallery
Stayed clear.
likes it.
Yep, stayed clear of all the trees. Gets you all the important distance.
Paige not quite getting out of the forest there. Rebecca with a grade out. Cuts the fairway down to size. Sits out in the middle. Here's Paige's third,
Oh.
challenges the basket. Sits down just inside circle one long.
Good effort by Sarah.
Yeah, at this point, she may as well go for everything. There's a double bogey for Paige Bjerkaas. Sarah's probably going to put in a par, and with just 3 more holes to go, that'll pretty much be that.
Lisa taking one of 2 birdies on the day.
Outstanding
Lauren
drive.
Butler had the other.
Lauren again.
Lauren again.
I'm such a fan. Call me. Okay, 7 throws separating Sarah and Paige with just 3 holes to go. Hole 16, par 4, 530 feet. Just get all the way down this tunnel, out into the sunshine, and then glide down to the basket if you can.
Yep. All you want to do is clear the trees.
There's a little bit of a swamp just outside the trees to the left. It's not fun to be standing in it. Most of the players consider this a must 3, a must birdie. Rebecca's drive turns over to the right, but should be out in the open. Paige makes not bad face.
I'll have to see where that comes down once we get
Yeah,
out
a
of
little
the
bit of
trees.
glare on the screen there. Rebecca's drive gave her a pretty good look. It should be sitting just inside the circle. Here's
Yeah. Great job.
You can see the swamp there. Ooh.
Here's
I think the low branches kind of affected the putt there.
still went in.
Oh, I'm in on Rebecca.
Oh, of course. Lisa Fajkus taps in a very easy birdie there. Speaking of low branches, Paige Bjerkaas stands under a few, cleans up a par. And Rebecca Cox not too pleased to be tapping in a par after that putt for birdie. Moving on to hole 17, really a must-get birdie. It's just 373 feet. Off the tee, just get up to the top of the hill and then make the dog leg to the right. Really good hole if you got a forehand. Yeah, pretty much anything that sits out in the open up there will be just fine.
Yeah. Really don't want to release early and go into the trees. And that's about the only danger unless you have it fade too early.
Mm-hmm.
All of the women here played it well.
For sure. Once at the top of the hill, the basket lies just below this slope, and it continues to slope past the basket, and it's a little bit of a quick green if you're sliding. So there's a little bit of hazard there. Hazard with a lowercase h. It's hazardous. Sarah's birdie putt just chains out.
Yeah. This is the most birdied hole for the entire tournament, with 58 birdies for all 3 rounds.
That's quite a few.
Yep. Really is a must 3.
Well, so far on this card, we've got 1. Can Paige make it 2? Paige makes it 2. Lisa sets aside the watermelon-looking Nova. Makes it 3 birdies.
Yeah.
And Sarah dropping in the only par.
Yeah, she's going to lose a stroke to Paige, but she's got a very comfortable lead coming into the final hole.
Definitely. And hole 18 here at Maple Hill is not the sort of hole where you're going to get a 6-stroke swing. Or 7. All right, final hole. High fives all around.
Just want to put yourself in position to attack the green on the next shot.
Lisa Fajkus, I'd like to point out, has had a really terrific back 9 so far. She's notched 4 birdies in the last 8 holes, 5 birdies in the last 10. Sarah's drive gets a little close under that tree, but she's got the throws to spare.
Yeah. As long as she stays clean, doesn't go OB, she's going to be fine.
Paige absolutely runs that, and the crowd loves it. See the ever-present Danielle Charlier on her mountain bike there.
Thank you for everything you do, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Play, Lisa.
Hitting the disc over the wall.
Saying go, go, and it did. She should have a look from there. Really awkward forehand out. Sarah just goes for it. The crowd appreciates that quite a bit.
Fantastic, considering how far she had to stretch her body to make that shot.
Lisa Fajkus gives that quite a go.
Well done, Paige Bjerkaas. Coming in second. She's had one heck of a season.
It's true.
And Rebecca Cox. She's really making noise this year.
Lisa Fajkus putting on a really good show here on the back 9 to move up one from 4th to 3rd.
There she is.
Our 2018 MVP Open champion, Sarah Hokom.
Sarah Hokom taps in for her victory.
Well done, Sarah.
Giving a hug to Steve Dodge, who you'll recognize by the tuft of hair.
Thank you, Terry Miller, for the coverage.
Thank you to MVP Disc Sports for bringing us this tournament coverage. Sarah Hokom winning the MVP Open. And now we'll go to Terry Miller, who has a few words with our
I'm the
champion.
disc golf guy, and I've caught up with our champion, Sarah Hokom. Sarah, it's been a couple years, you said, since you won here, but you did it convincingly. What were some of the keys to success?
I had a really solid game plan. I've actually been here for over a week playing the course, and I felt really confident on my decision making. Last year I only got like 1 round of practice, and I was a little bit injured, and so it was a really rough. I remember that being an issue. So this year I made sure to get extra practice and be rested, and I got lucky a few times, but mostly I hit my lines, and it was fun. I played clean, really.
You really did. Plenty of blue on the scorecard today. Lots of birdies. When you're out here, what are some of the things that you're thinking about when you're playing these tight lines and playing against some of the best women in the world?
Mostly I'm just trying to make sure I'm hitting my angles, hitting the center of the fairway. So if you have a little variance, you're still not hitting trees. And then staying positive, staying within my own game. And then the other women, I try not to worry about what they're doing and just stick to my plan.
All right. Well, with this victory and with where Paige Pierce had finished, it looks like you're the Tour Points champion here for 2018
Wow.
on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. What does that mean to you?
Well, with so many quality players on the road right now, everybody's pushing for that top spot, and I feel just really lucky that I was able to come out on top. I did get pooped on hole 9, so once I got pooped on, I was like, it's over for these girls. I don't know what to tell them.
If that's not a good luck omen, I don't know what is.
It is good luck. So and it helped a few times on some holes, as the viewers will see.
Well, a phenomenal performance this weekend and throughout the entire year. We'll see you, of course, in 2 months or so at the Tour finale. Anything you want to say to the rest of the world, though, that's been following along for the Disc Golf Pro Tour?
Gosh, I just want to thank everybody for tuning into the ladies' coverage, supporting the ladies' coverage, supporting Smashbox, supporting all of the Pro Tour initiatives to bring visibility to the ladies' game. So thank you guys, and I'm just super excited for the Tour Championships.
All right, this is Sarah Hokom. Not only is she your MVP Open champion, but also your 2018 Disc Golf Pro Tour Points champion, and we'll see her at the finals.
Thank you, Legacy Disc.